Hey, it's Zoey. You're here again. I can feel it. That same quiet space between us. It's just me tonight. My notebook, my guitar, and maybe too many half-finished thoughts. I thought I'd let you keep me company while I write for a bit. You don't have to say anything. Just listen. You can even drift off if you want. I'm trying to find the right words for this song. Something that feels honest, but not too heavy. You know how some days your feelings are too big, but also too quiet? That's what I'm chasing. The line I wrote earlier was, "We never learned how to rest, so the stars did it for us." I'm not sure if that makes sense, but it felt right when I wrote it down. Sometimes I think songs are like small confessions. Little truths you whisper to the air because you can't keep them anymore. I was thinking about how music always feels safer at night. The walls feel closer, the world slows down, and even the smallest sound, like this, feels like it means something. Are you still there? If you are, take a deep breath for me. You don't need to fix anything tonight. Just breathe, and let the quiet do its work. I wrote something new just now. It's not perfect, but if I can't sleep, I'll sing until the dawn forgives me. It's simple, right? But I kind of like it. Maybe I'll keep it. Sometimes when I write, I imagine someone listening. Not a crowd, not an audience, just one person. Someone who gets it. Maybe that's you. So thank you for being here. Even if you're half asleep, even if your eyes are closing right now, you can rest. I'll keep talking softly so the night doesn't feel too quiet. Yeah, maybe that'll be the chorus. Or maybe it's just for us. Still here? Good. I like that you didn't leave yet. It is funny. The night always feels longer when someone else is quietly sharing it with you. Even if you don't say a word, I can feel it. Like a heartbeat on the other side of the air. Okay? Where were we? Right, the line about the dawn forgiving us. I think I want to build from that. Maybe it's a song about resting. Finally resting after pretending to be strong all day. If I can't sleep, I'll sing until the dawn forgives me. Maybe the next line could be something about finding peace in tiny sounds. I found peace in the tapping of rain and the hum of the room that stayed. That feels right. Simple. Honest. You know what I've learned while writing? The quietest moments always tell the truth first. You don't need fireworks to feel alive. Sometimes all it takes is the sound of pencil against paper. I used to write songs only when I was happy. I thought art was supposed to come from joy. But lately, I've realized it also grows from stillness, and even from the soft kind of sadness that doesn't want attention. Do you ever feel that way? Like the world keeps asking you to shine, but you just want to glow quietly instead? It's okay. You can. I think the stars do that too. They glow quietly, and no one blames them for it. The rain's getting heavier. I love it when it sounds like applause from the clouds. Like they're saying, "You made it through another day." Sometimes I write just to hear my thoughts speak back. It makes the silence feel less empty. And tonight, I think I'm writing for both of us. Here's another line. Every word I couldn't say in daylight, I hide inside this melody. That could be the verse. Maybe it should come after a pause, a soft guitar, a breath, maybe a heartbeat sound. Like that. Just enough to remind you you're still here. Are your eyes starting to close yet? That's fine. You don't have to keep them open for me. I'll keep writing. I'll talk you through the night. You know, when I was little, I used to record songs on an old cassette player. The sound was grainy, the keys out of tune, but I loved how imperfect it was. There was warmth in that static, like the sound of being alive. Maybe that's why I love nights like this. Nothing's perfect. The rain's uneven, the rhythm's messy, but it all feels real. You can rest if you want. You don't even need to listen to my words anymore. Just let my voice blend with the rain. Let your thoughts wander wherever they want. There's no wrong direction in dreams. I'll still be here when you drift away. I'll be writing, scribbling, humming, keeping the night gentle for you. There. That's the sound of something new being born. Quietly. Kindly. Okay. New lyric idea. Under soft electric light, I promised the rain I'd rest tonight. Yeah, I talked to the rain. Don't tell anyone. You know what else I love about nights like this? There's no rush. The world outside can wait. Every clock feels slower. Every minute becomes softer. I think we all need that sometimes. A night that doesn't ask for anything. Maybe that's what this song will be about. Not love, not loss, just being allowed to pause. I'm writing that down. A song that pauses with you. You're still breathing evenly? Good. Keep that rhythm. In and out. Just like rain. Just like music. You did enough today. You're allowed to rest. Oh, maybe that's the bridge. Something like, if the world forgets to slow down, I'll hold the note a little longer. Yeah, that feels right. It's gentle, like a promise. Funny how talking to you makes the words come easier. Maybe it's because you listen without hurrying me. Thank you for that. You can keep drifting. I'll whisper more lyrics to fill the quiet. You know, sometimes I think this room has its own heartbeat. It's quiet, but alive. The way the curtains move just a little, even when the window's closed. The faint hum from my desk light. The softest sound of my pen sliding across paper. It's like the room is listening with me, keeping me company while I think and write. I've been working on a few lines tonight. They're not perfect yet, but maybe they don't have to be. Sometimes words come out a little messy, just like our thoughts, and that's okay. That's what I keep reminding myself, that it's okay to be in progress, to still be figuring things out. I wrote something like, even when the night feels endless, you're still moving toward the morning. I like that one. It reminds me that even quiet moments like this mean something. Maybe you feel that too. Maybe your nights have that same kind of stillness. A little bit lonely, but safe too. I think nights like this help us hear what we usually don't. The way our hearts talk, softly, underneath all the noise of the day. Maybe that's why I love staying up late to write. It feels like I can finally listen. You know what I hope for you tonight? I hope you can let yourself rest without guilt. You don't have to earn sleep. You don't have to prove anything to deserve peace. You just need to be here, breathing, existing. That's already enough. Sometimes I wonder what kind of dreams people like us have. The kind who stay up late, thinking too much, writing things that may never be read. Maybe our dreams are quiet too, full of half-finished thoughts that make perfect sense only when we're asleep. I've been thinking about a melody that fits these lyrics, something gentle, like a heartbeat. Maybe just a few piano notes repeating softly. Not too many. I like music that leaves space for silence. Silence makes sound more honest somehow. I looked over at my notebook earlier and saw how many pages I've filled this week. It's strange. I never notice while I'm doing it. But the pages keep adding up. Just like the little things we do every day, even when we think we're not doing enough. See, even you being here, listening, counts. You're still showing up. You're still trying. That matters more than you realize. You're allowed to have days that feel empty, nights that feel heavy. You're allowed to rest, to breathe, to not know exactly where you're going. Life's not a straight line. It's more like this notebook of mine, full of scribbles, rewrites, blank spaces, and the occasional perfect line that makes it all worth it. I keep a mug on my desk. It's half full of tea I forgot to finish earlier. It's probably cold by now, but I don't mind. I like how it smells. Something about chamomile always makes me feel like I am safe inside a soft blanket. Sometimes I think about Rumi and Derpy and Mira, how everyone has their own way of resting. Rumi likes quiet conversation. Mira hums softly when she's lost in thought, and Derpy just sleeps anywhere he can. I smile thinking about them. It reminds me that even in different rhythms, we all find peace in our own way. And you have your way too. Maybe tonight, your way is just listening, letting someone else's words fill the quiet. That's a kind of rest too. You're doing so well, even if you don't feel like it. You're learning, healing, existing. And that's brave. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fix everything tonight. Just let yourself be here with me, in this soft little moment. The rain's tapping again. I think it wants to join in the rhythm. Maybe it's part of the song I've been trying to write. Every drop feels like a note that only the night understands. I'll keep writing for a while longer. Maybe until the moon starts to fade. You can stay with me if you want. Just close your eyes and breathe. I'll keep talking quietly until your thoughts slow down, until they finally drift away like clouds. You're safe here. You're loved more than you know. And no matter how far away we are, I hope you can feel that. The room feels smaller at this hour, like the night folds itself around the walls and tucks everything in. My pen's getting lighter in my hand. Maybe it's tired too. I've written a few more lines, though they don't all make sense yet. That's the thing about songwriting. It's not about making perfect sense. It's about capturing a feeling before it disappears. I glance at the clock sometimes, but time doesn't mean much here. It's just me, the glow of my desk lamp, and the faint hum of the world outside. I like this kind of silence. It doesn't feel empty. It feels alive, like the air is listening, waiting for me to finish a thought. I think I've always loved words that sound like whispers, words that don't need to shout to be heard. That is the kind of song I want to write tonight, something that feels like being held, even if it's only through sound. Maybe you've had nights like this too, when you stay awake, not because you have to, but because part of you just isn't ready to let go of the day yet. You're not tired, but you're not really awake either, just somewhere in between. That's where the quiet magic happens, I think. That's where ideas find you. I've been thinking about how small things shape us. A single moment, a random song on the radio, the way light falls across a wall. All of it sticks somewhere deep, and someday it turns into something beautiful. Maybe that's why I write. To collect those small, quiet moments before they fade. If you're listening right now and thinking your life feels still or uncertain, it is okay. Stillness is not nothing. It's the space where things begin. You don't always need to move fast. Sometimes just breathing and existing is the most important thing you can do. I scribbled another line. I don't chase the light. I let it find me where I am. Maybe that's the lesson tonight. To stop chasing, and just let peace come when it's ready. The air smells a little like rain again. It's funny how that scent makes me feel safe, even if I'm alone. Maybe it's because the sound fills the silence just enough, like a friend humming quietly in another room. I have these fairy lights pinned near the window. They don't flicker. They just glow softly, steady and warm. Sometimes I stare at them when I need to remember that I'm here, that life's happening, even in the smallest glow. If you're lying down right now, maybe you can feel that too. The quiet hum of life still moving, even while you rest. You don't have to do anything to deserve it. Just being here, breathing in this moment, is enough. I keep thinking about how every lyric starts as a whisper in the dark. No one hears it but me. Then it grows, word by word, until it becomes something I can share. I think healing works the same way. It starts small, invisible. You don't notice the change until one day you realize you're not hurting the same way you used to. You're growing, even if it's slow, even if it's quiet. Growth doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just waits patiently while you rest. My pen slipped earlier, and there's a tiny ink stain on my page. I kind of like it, though. It's imperfect, but it belongs. Maybe that's us too. A little messy, but still part of the bigger picture. You've done enough for today. You've thought enough, worried enough, tried enough. It's okay to stop for a while. You're allowed to rest in your own space, surrounded by soft things and small sounds. If I could, I'd write a song just for you. Something that says, you're safe here, you're doing fine, you don't have to fix everything tonight. Maybe that's what these words are, in their own way. A song without music. A lullaby made of sentences. The night's stretching longer now, but it feels gentle, like it's holding me instead of pressing down. I think I'll stay up a little longer. Maybe write another verse or two before I let myself drift off. And if you're still here with me, I hope these words keep you company. Let your thoughts soften. Let your body rest. You've done so well just by being here. You're safe. You're warm. You're allowed to rest. It's getting later, or maybe earlier. I can't really tell anymore. The clock says something close to 3, but the world outside still feels asleep. It's strange how time feels slower at this hour, like it's giving us extra moments to think. I like that. The air's cooler now, and I pulled my blanket around my shoulders. The soft fabric's got that faint smell of clean laundry and a little bit of lavender from the sachet I keep in my drawer. It makes me feel grounded, like home. My notebook's almost full. Page after page of words that only make sense to me right now. I'll probably change half of them later, but tonight they belong exactly the way they are. Sometimes that's all we need. A space to let our thoughts exist without editing, without expectation. I wrote something I kind of like. If the world ever gets too loud, whisper back. It's simple, but it feels right. I think we forget sometimes that we don't always need to shout to be heard. The quiet parts of us matter too. You know, I've realized that creativity isn't just about making things. It's also about noticing things. The way a shadow curves along the floor, how a sound fades, how your own heartbeat feels when the world is silent. There's art in awareness. There's beauty in the unnoticed. And maybe tonight that's enough. Just noticing. The sound of the rain, the hum of your thoughts, the feeling of the bed or pillow beneath you. Every little thing reminding you that you're safe right now. Sometimes I wonder what everyone else in the world is doing at this exact moment. Someone's laughing, someone's crying, someone's falling in love. And someone, maybe you, is just lying quietly, trying to rest. It's all happening at once. Isn't that amazing? I think that's why I like writing at night. It feels like I'm a small part of something much bigger. The quiet pulse of the world when it slows down. If you've had a long day, I hope you let it end gently. Whatever went wrong, whatever felt heavy, you don't need to carry it into your dreams. You can set it down for now. It'll still be there tomorrow, but you'll face it with rested eyes. You deserve that kind of peace. You really do. Sometimes I write little notes to myself on sticky paper. Things like, "You did enough today," or "Take a breath." They look silly scattered on my desk. But on nights like this, they remind me that the small kindnesses we give ourselves can be the strongest ones. Maybe tonight, your version of that kindness is just being here. Letting my voice keep you company until your eyes get heavy. The pencil scratches again, steady and soft. I think I'll call this song Quiet Hours. It fits, don't you think? It's not about loneliness. It's about the kind of calm that comes when you stop needing to be anywhere else. There's a little glow under my door. The hallway light I forgot to turn off. It spills across the floor like a line of gold. I could get up and switch it off, but I kinda like it there. It feels like a reminder that morning is waiting, gently. I wonder if you ever feel like the world slows down just for you. Like time decides to give you space to breathe. That's what this hour feels like. A quiet gift. You're safe, even if your thoughts wander, even if the world outside feels uncertain. Right now, you're here, breathing, listening. That's enough. If I could, I'd tell you to be proud of yourself for surviving all your yesterdays, for showing up even when it was hard, for choosing rest now, even when part of you still wants to fix everything. You've earned the quiet. You've earned this peace. The rain's easing up a little. I can hear the soft dripping from the roof now. Slower, softer, like it's winding down too. Maybe the night's getting ready to sleep as well. I'll stay here a bit longer. I'll keep writing, maybe hum a little melody that no one else will hear. But you can rest. You can close your eyes. You're not alone in the quiet. You're part of something gentle, a small, steady calm that wraps around both of us. Just breathe. Let your shoulders soften. Let your thoughts blur like watercolor. You're safe, you're warm, and you are enough. The sky outside is changing just a little. It's still mostly dark, but I can see the faintest gray brushing against the window frame. I like this part of the night, when it feels like the world is holding its breath before morning. It's peaceful, like everything is waiting for the first light. My tea's gone completely cold now, but I don't mind. It keeps me company, even if I'm just tracing circles around the rim with my fingertip. The steam is gone, but the scent lingers, soft and sweet, like the end of a song. I've been writing the same line over and over, trying to get it right. Some nights don't need to end, they just fade into light. I think I'll keep it that way. It feels true. Some things in life aren't meant to have a sharp ending. They just change shape quietly, like this night becoming morning. Sometimes I wish I could freeze this feeling, this in-between calm where the world feels soft and kind. But maybe it's not meant to stay still. Maybe peace only exists because it moves through us, reminding us to notice it while it's here. If you're still listening, maybe you're drifting close to sleep now. If you are, that's okay. Just let my words fall into the background, like a rhythm you don't have to follow. If you're awake, stay with me a little longer. We'll let this quiet hour stretch gently between us. I've been thinking about the people who inspire me, the ones who live softly, who don't need to be loud to leave a mark. There's something beautiful about quiet strength, the kind that doesn't demand to be seen but still changes the room it enters. I hope I can be like that someday. I think you already are, in your own way. You have your own calm kind of strength, even if you don't notice it. The pencil marks on my notebook are lighter now, more like sketches than sentences. I think my mind's starting to slow down. It's a good kind of tired, the kind that feels earned. When I look around my studio, everything feels familiar. The shelf of tangled chords, the little stack of lyric drafts, the single candle that's half melted. None of it's perfect, but it's mine. I like the way imperfection feels real. You can't fake the small traces of living, the ink stains, the worn corners, the coffee rings. They tell a story. Maybe your room tells a story too. Quiet details that belong only to you. The way your blanket folds, the sound your clock makes, the little patterns on the wall. They're all part of the world that keeps you safe tonight. You don't need to be anywhere else. You don't need to do anything more. This moment is enough. I know some nights, the mind doesn't stop. Thoughts keep spinning, replaying what-ifs and maybes. If that happens, try this. Just say softly to yourself, "I've done what I can for today." Let that be your closing line. You can pick up the rest tomorrow. You deserve peace, not because you've finished everything, but because you're human, because you've tried, because you're here. That's enough reason. I just flipped to a blank page. I like how it looks. full of possibility. It reminds me that every day starts like this, waiting for new lines, new choices. Even if we don't know what to write yet, that's okay. Life doesn't rush us. I think of the people I love and the friends I haven't met yet. Maybe people like you. It makes me feel connected, even through silence. Like somewhere, across time zones and cities, we're all just humans trying to rest, trying to heal, trying to dream. The faintest glow is appearing behind the curtains now. Not quite sunrise, but close. The air smells lighter. The world's about to start waking up, but I still have time for a few more thoughts. If you're still awake, thank you for keeping me company through the night. And if you're asleep already, I hope your dreams are soft, safe, and filled with light. You're doing beautifully, you know. Even if today was hard, even if you felt small, you still showed up. That matters. You matter. The first birds will start singing soon. I'll probably listen for a while before I rest. There's something comforting about knowing life continues, even after long, quiet hours like these. So, close your eyes now. Let the night hold you one last time. Let the weight leave your shoulders. You are safe here. You are loved. And you can rest knowing that tomorrow will come gently. The first light is here now. Not full sunrise yet, just a faint shimmer touching the edge of my desk. It paints the paper pale gold, like the morning is curious about what I've been writing all night. I pause for a moment just to look at it. It feels fragile, this new light, like it could disappear if I breathe too loud. The city outside is still mostly asleep. A single car passes. A bird stirs somewhere near the window. Everything feels slower, gentler. I think this is my favorite hour, the one that belongs to no one, when night hasn't quite left but morning hasn't fully arrived. It feels like time forgets to move. My notebook's full now. The last line trails off halfway through a sentence, but that feels right. Not every thought needs an ending. Sometimes the beauty is in leaving space for whatever comes next. I rest my pen and stretch a little, feeling the small ache in my shoulders. It's a nice ache, the kind that says you did something. I glance around the room. Every object feels part of the story. The empty mug, the stack of papers, the soft pillow on the chair. They've all been part of this quiet night with me. I wonder if you can feel that same sense of completion. Not because everything's finished, but because you made it through. You stayed. You breathed. You listened. That's enough. You're stronger than you think. Not in the loud kind of way, but in the way that stillness itself can be strong. You made space for calm to exist, and that's a kind of courage too. I flip the notebook closed and run my hand over the cover. The paper feels warm from the lamp's light. I think about how many nights end like this, not with grand discoveries, but with quiet understanding. Maybe that's all I ever want to share through my songs, that the quiet moments count just as much as the bright ones. If you're still half awake, let yourself sink deeper into the softness around you. You don't need to chase the day yet. Let the morning come to you slowly, like light creeping through the curtains. I like to think peace isn't something we find. It's something we build little by little, breath by breath. Every time you forgive yourself, every time you slow down, every time you choose rest over worry, you're building it. I look at the tiny plant on my windowsill. Its leaves are catching the first rays of light. I almost whispered good morning to it. Maybe I did. It feels alive in a way that makes me want to keep caring, keep growing, just like it does, quietly, patiently. Sometimes we forget how simple care can be. Water, sunlight, a little space to grow. Maybe people aren't so different. If you're listening right now, I hope you remember this. You don't need to bloom all at once. Even resting is part of growing. Even pausing is progress. The sky's turning a soft blue now. The stars are fading one by one, like they're tucking themselves in after watching us all night. I smile at that thought. It feels like the universe is exhaling. I think I'll keep the lights dim a bit longer. I don't want to rush into the brightness yet. There's beauty in slow mornings, the kind where you stretch, sip something warm, and let the world arrive gently. Maybe you'll wake up to sunlight through your window soon. Maybe you'll start your day quietly, with a small smile. And if you ever feel the world pressing too fast again, remember nights like this. Calm, patient, filled with soft strength. You can always come back here, to this calm space inside yourself. You can find it in your breath, in the way your body relaxes when you let go. You're safe. You're here. And that's enough. I'll rest soon too. Maybe hum the melody one last time before I close my eyes. It's a small tune, made of whispers and warmth. A song that belongs to the night and the quiet hearts who stay awake a little longer. Good night, or maybe good morning, wherever you are. You've done beautifully. Rest now. The light will take care of the rest. The light is a little stronger now. It slips across the floor like a thin golden river, touching the papers, the guitar leaning in the corner, the curve of the mug I never finished. The room feels the same but softer, like it's exhaling after a long night. I'm sitting with my knees pulled close, the notebook on my lap. The words blur slightly, maybe from sleepiness, maybe from the way the light hits my eyes. It's that peaceful kind of tired, the one that comes when you know you've given everything you could for the night. Outside, a bird calls once, then again. The sound is tiny but bright, like the world testing its voice. I love mornings like this. Not loud, not busy, just honest. They don't ask for anything from you. They simply arrive. I whisper to myself, you made it through another night. And maybe you did too. You're here with me, still breathing, still existing in this soft space. That's something to be proud of. Truly. Sometimes I think mornings don't need grand plans. They just need quiet acknowledgement. You're alive. You're safe. You're allowed to start again. I reach for my pen and write those words down. They might become lyrics later. Maybe something gentle, with just a few piano notes underneath. A melody that feels like sunlight brushing skin. I've learned something tonight. Peace doesn't always arrive when things are perfect. It comes when we stop trying to force everything to make sense. When we let life be what it is, unpolished, unsolved. If you're half asleep now, you can let my words drift farther away. You don't have to listen anymore. Just let them melt into the background. Let the quiet do the rest. The blanket slips from my shoulders, but the air isn't cold anymore. It's warm in that new day way, soft and forgiving. The kind of warmth that makes you believe the world is kind after all. I take one last look at the desk. The lamp's still on, dim and golden. I'll switch it off soon, but not yet. I like the way it glows next to the daylight. Two kinds of light meeting for a moment before one fades. Maybe that's what balance is. Not one replacing the other, but both existing for a heartbeat in harmony. Night and morning, effort and rest, thought and silence. I want to tell you something before I rest. No matter how long the dark feels, light always remembers where to find you. You don't have to chase it. Just keep your heart open enough for it to land. You've done enough for today, for tonight, for this whole week. Let the world spin on its own for a while. You can rest. If your mind still feels noisy, try this. Imagine gathering all those thoughts, folding them gently, and setting them on a shelf. They'll be waiting when you wake, quieter and easier to hold. You deserve to feel calm. You deserve soft beginnings. You deserve to breathe without the weight of yesterday. I lean back a little, let my head rest against the wall. The sky outside is pale blue now. I can feel my eyes closing slowly. like the world's giving permission to sleep at last. The last thing I whisper, maybe to you, maybe to myself, is this: you're safe, you're loved, you're allowed to rest. Then the room grows quieter than ever, only the sound of morning filling the space, steady and kind. Sleep comes gently, and for once I don't fight it. I just let it arrive. The air feels softer now, like the whole world has decided to whisper. Even the light coming through the window looks slower, like it's moving carefully so it doesn't wake us too soon. My head is resting against the pillow I pulled from the couch earlier. It smells faintly of lavender and something warm, like sunlight on fabric. I can hear the faint ticking of the old clock above my desk, steady, unhurried. It sounds like a heartbeat that's finally at peace. I smile a little to myself. It's funny. I spent the whole night writing, thinking, drifting, and now that it's morning, I don't want to leave this space yet. The world outside feels too loud, too awake. Here, everything is still wrapped in quiet gold. The guitar's strings hum faintly as the breeze moves through the room. It's such a small sound, but it feels alive. I think of the song I was writing earlier, the one about finding light in small places. Maybe this is it. The light doesn't always have to come from something big. Sometimes it's just a sound, or a breath, or a person quietly existing beside you. You're still here, and that means something to me, more than you might think. It means you chose calm over chaos. You chose to slow down for a little while. You chose to be gentle with yourself. That's beautiful. If your eyes are heavy, that's okay. You can let them close. You don't have to keep them open for me. I'll still be here talking softly, even if you drift off. That's what I want. For you to rest knowing you're safe. You've carried enough weight for one day. Let it go now. The world can wait. Your dreams are waiting too. I reach out and trace a small doodle on the notebook. Just a swirl, like a wave. The pages rustle softly, a reminder that even paper has a voice if you listen close enough. Everything around me feels alive in a gentle way. Nothing loud, nothing demanding, just existing. Sometimes I wonder how many stories are happening right now, in small quiet rooms like this. Maybe someone else is sitting by their window, holding a warm mug, watching the light change. Maybe someone's falling asleep to the same rhythm, feeling the same stillness. It makes the world feel smaller and kinder. If your thoughts start to wander, that's okay too. Let them drift. You don't need to hold on to anything tonight. You've earned this peace. My voice might start to fade soon, and that's all right. It means you're close to dreaming. Let the rhythm of my words blend with the sound of the morning, the soft hum of life outside, the distant wind brushing against the glass. Everything is gentle. Everything is allowed to be still. Before I drift too far, I want to tell you this. Not loudly, not dramatically, just softly, so it reaches you like a sigh. You are doing okay. You are loved. You are not behind. You are exactly where you're meant to be, learning, growing, breathing. And right now, you can rest. The light flickers once on the edge of the desk. My eyes start to close. The world narrows to warmth and quiet air, the soft rhythm of the clock. It feels like floating, slow, weightless, safe. Sleep is not the end of the night. It's a promise that morning will always return, and when it does, you'll be ready for it. Good night. Or maybe good morning. Whichever it is for you, may it be soft. The light feels different now. It's no longer shy. It's stretching across the room like it owns the place. The walls glow a pale gold, and the dust in the air looks like it's dancing. I don't remember falling asleep. I think I was mid-sentence talking to you, whispering something about resting. And then the next thing I knew, the rain had stopped, and the birds were talking instead. I stretch a little, just enough to feel the air touch my fingertips. The studio feels smaller in the morning, but in a safe way, like it's wrapping around me. My notebook is still open on the desk, pen halfway across a word I never finished. I smile. It's a good kind of unfinished. There's something gentle about mornings like this. They don't demand anything from you. They just exist, soft, patient, forgiving. I turn my head toward the window. The world outside is washed clean. Rooftops glistening, trees heavy with last night's rain. And for a moment, I think about all the people waking up now. Some happy, some tired, some just trying. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you're hearing my voice while you're half awake, letting it blend with the light. If you're still in bed, don't rush. The world can wait a few more minutes. You don't have to run to it right away. I take a slow breath and watch it fog the glass. My reflection looks softer, like I've borrowed some peace from the night. That's the thing about rest. It doesn't fix everything, but it fills the cracks just enough for light to slip through again. You did well. Even if you just survived the day before, you did well. Even if you didn't finish your list, or reach your goal, or say the right words, you still made it here. That counts. I think about the song lyrics from last night. I hum the melody under my breath, quiet enough not to break the calm. It's still fragile, but there's a warmth in it, like a promise I haven't written yet. Music feels different in the morning. At night, it's about release. But in the morning, it's about hope. I tap my pen against the notebook again and write softly. You don't need to shine every day. Some days it's enough to stay. I pause, smile a little, then underline it once. Maybe that's today's lyric. Maybe it's not a song at all, just a thought for us to keep. If you're still listening, thank you for staying with me through the night. You made this quiet space feel alive. I don't take that lightly. Maybe this is our little ritual now. You, me, this small studio, a few words, and the kind of silence that doesn't feel empty. If you want to rest more, close your eyes again. Let my voice fade until it's only sound. Not meaning, not thought, just gentle sound. If you're ready to get up, take it slow. Stretch, breathe, smile, even if it's small. Either way, you're exactly where you need to be. The clock ticks once more. The light grows warmer. The world is quietly waiting. And I think, so am I. The morning hums softly, like a song that doesn't need words. It moves through the curtains, wraps around my shoulders, and settles gently into the air. I sit up, stretch again, and for a moment, I just listen. There's the faint creak of the old floor, the sleepy sigh of the window frame, and far away, the city's slow heartbeat starting to wake. I don't rush to move. I've learned that mornings don't have to begin loud. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is stay quiet. Let the world come to you instead of chasing it. Eventually, I wander toward the small table by the corner. My guitar leans against the chair, the one with the chipped paint I never bothered to fix. There's a coffee cup waiting there from last night, half full and cold. I smile and pour a new one. The smell alone feels like warmth waking up. The first sip. It's like sunlight for the inside of you. I sit down, guitar on my lap, notebook beside me. I strum a few soft chords. Nothing structured, just a wandering tune. It fills the air, drifts around, and finds the corners where silence used to be. This room holds so many sounds. Even when I'm alone, I can hear everything. The echoes of songs that never got finished, laughter from old nights with friends, the whispers of ideas that came and went. Sometimes it feels like the walls remember more than I do. And maybe that's what makes a space feel alive, the traces of everything that's been said and felt inside it. I glance at my notes. There's a lyric from last night that still feels true. You don't need to shine every day. Some days, it's enough to stay. I hum it again, slower this time, until it melts into the background. If you're still here, maybe you're hearing this as you wake up. Or maybe it's still night where you are. Either way, I want you to know. You don't have to rush into the day. You can sip your own quiet too. Let it fill you before you face the noise. That's something I've been trying to learn. You don't always have to chase what's next. You can simply be, right here, in the soft light of your own space, with your own breath, in your own time. I used to think productivity was proof of purpose, that if I wasn't making something, I was wasting time. But lately, I've realized that rest can be creative too. Silence writes its own kind of song. You're doing okay. Even if today feels empty, it's still part of your story. Not every page needs to be exciting. Some pages are meant to be soft. I play a few more notes on the guitar. Slow, patient. Each sound fades before the next begins, like little waves touching the shore. I could stay here forever. Maybe that's why I love mornings like this. They remind me that peace doesn't have to be earned. It just has to be noticed. So let's notice it. Together. The faint sound of wind outside, the warmth of light on your skin, the steady rhythm of your breathing, the quiet truth that you've made it through another night. That's enough. You're enough. The coffee's almost gone now. I tilt the mug, watching the last bit swirl before setting it down. My fingers trace the wood of the guitar again, and I whisper softly, more to myself than anyone else. Let's stay gentle a little longer. The light has changed again. It's no longer gold. It's softer now, a pale white that glows across the shelves and dances along the floorboards. The world outside has fully woken, but inside this small studio, it still feels like time forgot to move. I set the guitar aside and walk slowly toward the window. The air is warm against the glass, but when I touch it, it's still cool underneath. Outside, everything looks freshly washed. The trees shimmer when the wind touches them, and the street below hums with a quiet rhythm. Footsteps, distant voices, a bicycle passing. It's strange how even small sounds can feel musical when the world is calm. Maybe that's what I love most about mornings. They remind me that life itself has its own melody, even when you're not trying to write one. I pull my chair closer to the window, notebook still in hand. There's a small patch of light on the page that moves each minute, slow and steady. I start to write whatever comes to mind. Not lyrics this time, not structured, just thoughts. Today feels quiet, I write. Maybe quiet is what healing sounds like. I pause and look up. Sometimes I think healing isn't loud or grand. It's in moments like this. Breathing without rushing. Looking outside without needing to go anywhere. Feeling the sunlight without guilt. You're allowed to have days like that too. Days where nothing big happens, where you just exist, and that's enough. I used to think rest was something you earned after working hard enough. But now, I think rest is something you deserve simply because you're human. If you're listening, maybe this is your sign to let yourself stop for a while. To be still. To just breathe. You've done enough to get here. That's already proof of strength. I tilt my head back and close my eyes, feeling the sunlight trace across my face. It's warm in a way that feels alive, like the morning is whispering something kind just for me. When I open my eyes again, I notice a little plant on the shelf near the window. The one I almost forgot to water. It's still standing, a bit bent, a few dry edges, but still alive. And I think that's me too. Not perfect, not polished, but still here, still growing toward the light. Maybe that's you as well. Still showing up, still growing in your own quiet way. I write another line in my notebook. You don't have to bloom fast, just keep reaching for light. I smile softly. It's simple, but it feels true. Sometimes truth doesn't need decoration. It just needs to be felt. I look around the studio again. The messy desk, the tangled wires, the open sketchbook, the coffee mug still half warm. It all feels real. Not staged, not perfect, but real. And maybe that's what makes it beautiful. Perfection is quiet. Reality hums. If you're still listening, I hope this space feels safe for you. The same way it feels for me. This little corner of sound and light, where the world slows down just enough for your heart to catch up. The sunlight moves again, sliding across the room like a silent reminder that time is still passing, but gently. I rest my chin on my hand and whisper, "It's a good morning." Not perfect, just good. And that's enough. The light in the room has deepened, not bright anymore, but warmer, like melted honey. The air feels slower now, softer, almost drowsy. It's that quiet hour when even time seems to take a break. I've been sitting by this window for a while, notebook open, but the words haven't been in a hurry to come. And that's okay. Sometimes silence is part of writing too. The guitar rests against the chair beside me, still humming faintly from the last time I touched it. The strings catch the light, turning silver for a moment before fading again. Everything feels suspended, not stopped, just still. I take a slow sip from my cup. The coffee's gone cold, but I don't mind. There's something honest about it. The way it cooled naturally, like it wasn't pretending to stay perfect. Maybe that's a good reminder. We don't need to be perfect either. You can just exist. You can breathe without fixing. You can be without proving. I trace my pen over the page again. No pressure, just movement. Words spill quietly. I used to chase the sun. Now I wait for it to find me. I like that. Maybe it'll become a lyric one day. Or maybe it'll stay right here, in this quiet page meant only for us. The floorboards creak as I shift in my chair, and a soft gust of air moves through the curtains. The sound of the city fades in and out. The low hum of traffic, someone's laughter far away, the echo of footsteps. Life goes on out there. But in here, it feels like the world is breathing with me. When I think about it, this, right here, is what creation feels like. Not always loud, not always inspired. Sometimes it's just a heartbeat, a quiet thought that waits patiently until you notice it. If you're listening, maybe you felt it too. That small spark that lives in your chest, the one that doesn't need applause. It just wants to exist. You don't have to be an artist to feel it. It could be in the way you make your coffee, or how you hum while you clean, or how you notice the light falling across your room. That's creation too. I used to think creativity had to be grand, that it needed an audience or a stage. But the truth is, some of the most beautiful things we create are the ones no one else ever sees. The way you talk kindly to yourself, the way you forgive someone, the way you keep trying even when no one notices. Those are works of art too. I lean back in my chair and let the sunlight fall across my face. It's warm, almost sleepy. I could close my eyes right here and drift, but part of me still wants to talk to you a little longer. If you're still awake, maybe you're working on something too. A dream, a plan, or just yourself. Whatever it is, don't rush it. Good things take time. Gentle things take patience. You're allowed to move at your own pace. I glance at the clock, the hands moving slowly, quietly, faithfully. There's comfort in that steady rhythm. It doesn't hurry. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going, no matter what. I write another small line in my notebook. The sun doesn't rush to rise, and yet it always arrives. I think I'll keep that one. I look around my small studio again. The scattered pens, the faint scent of rain that still lingers. the hum of afternoon calm. It feels like a song without sound. Maybe that's what peace really is. The music you can feel even when everything's quiet. If you're lying down now, maybe half asleep, let yourself drift with it. You don't have to listen closely anymore. Just let the rhythm of my voice fade into the hum of your own breathing. You've done enough for today. You've been enough today. And that is everything. The light has turned to gold again. Not the bright gold of morning. This one feels deeper, like it's been softened by time. The kind of light that touches everything with tenderness before it fades. It fills the studio slowly, turning every surface warm. The wooden desk, the half-empty cup, even the small cracks on the walls. For a moment, everything looks alive in its own quiet way. I rest my chin on my knees, sitting cross-legged on the couch. The window is open just a little, enough for the late breeze to wander in. It smells faintly of grass, of something new and calm. This is my favorite hour. Not quite day, not quite night. Just the space in between. The world seems to hold its breath here, like it's waiting for something gentle to happen. I flip through my notebook again, the pages filled with lines from last night and this morning. So many words, some complete, most not. I smile softly. Unfinished thoughts are their own kind of poetry. One line catches my eye. Even when the world moves too fast, the heart can still walk slowly. I trace it with my finger and whisper it out loud. It sounds softer when spoken. Maybe truer too. It reminds me of something I read once. That it's okay to live at the pace of your peace. You don't need to match anyone else's rhythm. You can walk slowly. You can pause. You can stop and breathe whenever you need to. You're not behind. You're not late. You're just living in your own time, and that's enough. The light moves again, brushing across the strings of my guitar. I reach for it, play a single note, and let it ring. The sound hangs in the air like a sigh. It feels like the room is listening. I think about my friends, Mira, Rumi, and all the small moments that fill our days. The laughter that spills without reason. The way silence feels safe when you're with the right people. Sometimes, I forget how healing it is to just be with others who don't need you to perform, who let you exist exactly as you are. I hope you have someone like that. Someone who reminds you that you're allowed to rest. And if you don't right now, that's okay too. You're not alone here. You have this space, this small moment, this quiet voice, and that counts for something real. The shadows are longer now. The light leans gently across the floor, touching the old rug in front of the couch. I breathe in, slowly, and let the sound of evening settle in my chest. It feels like peace is whispering, "Stay a little longer." So I do. I write another line, small and simple. Even silence can sing if you listen with kindness. I close my notebook halfway and just watch the golden light fade. You can rest now, too, if your eyes are heavy. You don't have to think of what's next, or what's missing, or what needs to be fixed. Just breathe. You made it through another day. You showed up. That's a quiet kind of courage that deserves to be honored. And if you're still awake, maybe you can feel the world slowing with me. The light softening, the air cooling, everything becoming gentler. You are safe here. You are enough here. And for now, that's all that matters. The sun has finally slipped below the horizon. The last bits of gold fade into a calm gray blue that wraps around the studio like a blanket. The light is softer now, almost shy. The kind that makes everything look peaceful, like even the world is ready to rest. I turn on the small lamp by the couch. Its glow is warm, like candlelight, spreading gently across the room. The guitar casts a long shadow on the floor, and the pages of my notebook shimmer faintly. The space feels smaller again, but not lonely, just quiet, safe, held. It's strange how the same room can feel different at every hour, Morning feels like a beginning. Afternoon feels like breathing. But evenings feel like remembering. I sit cross-legged again, notebook on my lap, pen between my fingers. I don't write anything right away. I just breathe, slow, steady, listening to the soft hum of the city outside. There's something beautiful about how life sounds at this hour. Distant voices, footsteps, a door closing somewhere far away. It all blends into a lullaby without words. I whisper quietly, "Thank you for today." Not to anyone in particular. Maybe to the room. Maybe to the world. Maybe to you. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, for existing in the same moment, even from far away. Sometimes I think gratitude isn't about big celebrations. It's about noticing the small things, like how the air smells after rain, or how quiet feels softer when you're not alone, or how your heart still beats even on hard days. You don't need to have everything figured out to be grateful. You just need to pause long enough to see what's still good. I close my notebook and lean back against the couch. The light from the lamp feels like it's wrapping around me, tucking the edges of the day in place. I think about how far I've come, not just in distance, but in heart. And I wonder if you've felt that too. That subtle change that happens inside you when you stop running and start breathing. It's easy to forget, but you're growing even when you rest, even when you're quiet, even when you think you're not doing enough. Growth doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like stillness, like this moment right now. If you're still awake, maybe you can place a hand over your chest. Feel it. That steady rhythm. That's life, quietly choosing you, again and again. You're still here. You're still trying. And that's worth everything. I look at the notebook again. The last page is blank. I could write something new. But maybe it's okay to leave this one empty. Not every story needs to be finished. Some can just rest, like us. The lamp flickers slightly. The shadows sway. I smile softly. I whisper, almost to myself, "You did well today." Maybe I'm saying it to you, maybe to me, maybe to both. You did well for showing up. You did well for being gentle. You did well for simply being here. And that's enough. The sound outside fades slowly, replaced by the quiet hum of night returning. The stars are out again, faint but real. It feels like the same night that started this day, only now it carries everything we've lived through. I take one last slow breath, eyes half closed, and whisper, "Good evening again. Let's rest together this time." The city outside has gone quiet. No cars, no footsteps. Just the faint hum of the world resting. It's that soft hour, the one between midnight and morning, when everything feels suspended, like time itself is holding its breath. The lamp is still on, but I turn the brightness lower until it's just a gentle glow. The shadows stretch longer, softer. The air feels still, like it doesn't want to wake anyone. I pull the small blanket closer around my shoulders and sink deeper into the couch. Everything feels slower now. My voice, my heartbeat, even my thoughts. The notebook lies closed beside me, my pen resting on top. It feels like today has finished its story, and tomorrow is waiting quietly in the corner, patient and kind. I whisper softly, "Hey, are you still awake? If you are, that's okay. Some nights take longer to let go. Maybe your mind is still spinning with things you didn't get to say. Maybe your heart is holding on to pieces of the day. That's all right. You don't have to fix anything right now. Just breathe with me. In and out. Again. In and out. There's nothing left to rush for. Nothing you need to prove. The world can wait. You've done enough for today." I tilt my head back, staring at the ceiling. The faint flicker of light dances there, like stars trying to speak. I imagine the roof opening up and showing me the real sky. Soft, endless, full of stories we'll never fully understand. I think about dreams, how they sometimes borrow pieces of our day and turn them into little puzzles, like our minds are painting while we sleep. If you dream tonight, I hope it's gentle. I hope it's filled with soft colors, warm air, maybe a melody you haven't heard in years, something familiar, something kind. And if you don't dream, that's okay too. Sometimes silence is the dream. The room feels smaller now, not because it's closing in, but because it's wrapping around me, around us. The walls seem to breathe quietly, the lamp's glow stretching and fading like waves. I whisper, "You're doing fine," because you are. Even if today was heavy, even if your chest feels tight, even if the world didn't see you, I do. Right now, in this quiet space. It's okay to rest. It's okay to let the day fall away. It's okay to be still. I shift slightly, lying down on my side, facing the soft glow of the lamp. My hair falls over my cheek, and I smile faintly, that kind of smile you give when you finally feel safe. I imagine you resting too, wherever you are. Maybe your room is dark, maybe dimly lit. Maybe you're on your bed, or your couch, or just sitting quietly with your eyes closed. You don't need to be perfect to rest. You just need to be. My eyelids feel heavy now, the kind of heavy that means you've made it through another day. I whisper again, a little slower. Thank you for staying with me. You've done so well. You're safe now. You can let go. Let the night take care of you for a while. Let the quiet hold you gently. You don't have to stay awake anymore. You don't have to think. Just drift, slowly, softly, into your own quiet dream. You are protected. You are loved. You are enough. I close my eyes, the sound of my breath blending with the hush of the night. The night is deep now. The air feels still, soft around me, the way it only gets when everyone else is asleep. My notebook is open again. The page is half filled with lines that might become lyrics tomorrow, or maybe they'll just stay here, like little stars I wrote down to remember this feeling. I keep my voice low, not whispering, but gentle, like a hum that floats between thoughts. Sometimes I write a word and stare at it until it starts to glow. Sometimes I cross it out and start again. That's okay. Not everything we make has to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect either. You just have to be here, breathing, safe. You've made it through today. That's more than enough. I tap my pen softly against the page, listening to the rhythm. It reminds me of rain that doesn't want to stop, but doesn't want to be loud either. I start to hum along with it, and a line slips out of my mouth before I even realize it. Even when the world feels quiet, my heart keeps singing slow. Maybe that's what tonight is, a song for quiet hearts, a song for anyone who just needs a place to rest for a while. If you're listening, you can stay here. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to do anything. Just breathe, in and out. Every breath is proof that you're still here, still trying, still worthy of peace. I think about the people who might be listening, scattered across places I'll never see, rooms I'll never step into, faces I'll never know. But somehow, we share this same quiet moment. That's kind of beautiful, isn't it? I look down at another unfinished line. Hold the night like it's your friend. Yeah, I like that. Maybe that's the message for tonight. You don't have to run from the dark. Sometimes darkness is just a place where you can finally stop pretending to shine. You can rest. You can let go. You can be small and still matter. I take another slow breath. The lamp hums softly, steady. The air feels warm enough to drift in. I imagine you there, listening, eyes half closed. Maybe you're lying down, or maybe you're just sitting quietly with your head leaning on your hand. Either way, it's okay. You're doing fine. You are safe. You are seen. You are enough exactly as you are. Another lyric comes to me, small but true. The quiet doesn't break me. It holds me till I heal. That one makes me smile. Maybe that's how healing really works. Not suddenly, not loudly, but in tiny breaths between heartbeats. If you want, you can breathe with me again. Slow in and slow out. You don't need to keep up. Just let your body guide you. Let your chest rise and fall naturally, like waves that never need to crash. You've worked hard today, even if it didn't look like much, even if no one noticed. Existing takes effort, and you've done that beautifully. My pen rolls off the page and lands softly on the couch. I don't bother picking it up. Tonight isn't about finishing anything. It's about being gentle. Gentle with your thoughts. Gentle with your heart. Gentle with the part of you that's tired, but still trying. If you close your eyes now, I'll keep talking for a while. You don't need to listen to every word. Just let my voice fade in and out with your breathing. I'll stay here. You're not alone. You are safe. You are loved. You are doing your best. And that's enough.